What happens to new cars that never get sold? This never happened before 2020, but right now there's 2, 3-year-old vehicles sitting on dealership lots that never got sold. Brand new cars still sitting 700, 800 days on the lot. So what are these dealerships going to do when they can't sell these vehicles? Well, dealerships have a couple options, but you need to know how they buy these vehicles in the first place. They get it on an allocation from the manufacturer, and so they're stuck with taking it, and they have to go ahead and buy it with the floor plan most of the time, which is dealership financing, and it might have actually a low interest rate for a period of time, but after 90 or 100 days, that interest rate ticks up dramatically. And it really adds up, especially when you have quite a few vehicles, hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars at high interest rates. It's not good. So car dealerships have to pay off the vehicle. That's the first thing they have to do to get that interest rate from eating their profit, which takes a lot of money to pay off all these vehicles. So it's not something they ever want to do, but now they have no choice when they have 2023s on the lot in 2025. And obviously the first thing they can do then is start discounting, because they want to sell it at their dealership. That way they can get you inside, go through the finance box, and even if they lose money on the front end, there's all different ways dealerships make money. They hope they can make it in the back in the finance box, and they get holdback and all this stuff. So they try to make money. Even if they lose in the front, they hope to make it up in the finance box. So they'll sit there and just keep lowering the price, 500, but it's really never enough. They just think someone's going to walk in and buy it, but they're not. So the next thing, they can use it as a service loaner or a demo vehicle. Every management staff at dealerships normally gets a demo vehicle, and especially general managers. And they can use it as their service loaner as well. So if it's just sitting around, they're like, you know what, just put it in the service loaner because there's nothing else they can do and they can't sell it. And then they'll put some miles on the vehicle and they'll feel better about discounting it more because they just need to sell it for the right price and it would probably sell, but it's always these super expensive or unique vehicles that nobody wants. I mean, you can go to Ford, General Motors, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. You will see $100,000 vehicles at all those dealerships. It's just crazy right now. So it makes sense. No wonder now they're getting stuck with vehicles that never happened before 2020 because prices have went up dramatically. And of course, they're getting stuck like Chuck with vehicles they can't sell. Another option is they offer a spiff, and that's only to the salespeople. So it's like a bonus to the salesperson, and it's supposed to incentivize them to show the car more. So on a Saturday meeting, they're going to be like, all right, this car, and this car has $1,000 or $2,000 spiff. So the salesman will get that on top of the commission when they sell the car, and it's just an extra bonus, and it's called a spiff, and the goal is to get that salesperson to show the car nonstop, even if you're not looking at that kind of car. You come in looking for a completely different vehicle, he pulls up something, you're like, what are you doing? And it's because he's trying to get that spiff. And customers don't want to buy these vehicles. You're like, it's still new, it's been on your lot for 2 years, it's a 2023. Vehicles are made to be driven, so it's never good for these things to be sitting 2 to 3 years. And one of the last resorts dealerships have is sending it to auction, but auction is where they don't get any F&I products sold or anything like that. There's no future service most likely with the customer, so anything that they want in the future, they're not getting any of that business. And sending it to auction, you're going to have other dealerships trying to get it for pennies in the dollar because they know it hasn't sold. So it's the worst way, but it's one way that they can guarantee to sell it quick and they can get it sold, but they're going to lose a lot of money doing it. But that's why you will see some new old stock at car auctions because the dealership has no option. They need to get that cash back or they need to pay off their floor plan because dealerships work on credit nonstop and that floor plan needs to recycle. They need that money back, so they need to get it sold. And a lot of dealerships that did all the greedy tactics, the market adjustments, the addendum stickers, and some of them are still doing it today. But it really got bad over the last few years when inventory dropped, and now those same cars, they probably could have sold it back then if they sold it without a market adjustment. But when they got the car in 2023, 2022, they were trying to get all this money, market adjustment, all this stuff, so they couldn't sell it then. And now they're finally discounting it 2 to 3 years later. Like, yeah, good luck, guys. You put yourself in this situation. And dealerships can also do something called a dealership trade where they can actually trade the vehicle with another dealership for another vehicle. But it's going to be pretty rare when you're talking about a 2-3-year-old vehicle because the other dealership knows how long that vehicle's been sitting on the lot and they know they're probably going to be in the same situation not being able to sell this vehicle. But maybe that dealership helped you out in the past, so you're going to help them out with this one, but that's a pretty rare option, but it's another option that the dealership has. But at the end of the day, dealerships put themselves in this situation, especially the ones with the super greedy tactics and all this stuff. And manufacturers raising the price, and back then they had no rebates, and now they're starting to bring rebates and discounts back, trying to sell all this old inventory. But I think it's too little too late right, but dealerships have a few options, from obviously discounting the vehicle in the first place, to sending it to auction, to using it as a service or demo, or doing a dealership trade. There's a few options they have, but otherwise it's just sitting on their lot not selling. And I don't know how long it's going to go for. 2023s and 22s still on the lot right now. How much longer are we going to see this? I don't know. Possibly 1,000 to 1,500 day old vehicles. Who knows? It never happened before 2020, so we just have to see. But let me know what you think. Have a great day and stay blessed.